Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show, a little earlier than normal. I'm your host, Khalid Mahidin. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, I'm bringing you the show a little earlier today because there's massive news that just broke in South Africa. I think it's an emotional time for a lot of people out there because of the announcement, particularly of the limited overs captain. We have obviously the test captain also being announced, Quinton de Kock being relieved from duties. They've given now the captaincy, the test captaincy to Dean Elgar and limited overs captain Temba Bavuma. Now, this is the first ever Black African captain that South Africa's ever had. So this is a massive, massive statement by Cricket South Africa and a very emotional time for a lot of people in South Africa. I think that this is something, a very bold statement when it comes to Cricket South Africa. And I think that from Bavuma's perspective, the selection of Bavuma is going to either go either way between South Africans. It's either going to be a lot of people that are happy about it, or there are going to be some people that are not so happy about it. Personally, I think that based on his captaincy for the Lions over the years, especially in the limited overs format, he's been excellent. I mean, he's now they've won 3 T20 trophies in a row, 2 under the captaincy of Temba Bavuma. So he's been excellent when it comes to white ball cricket. He's really transformed his game in white ball cricket. I mean, there were some stats that were brought on the screen yesterday, and throughout the T20. I'm sorry, not yesterday, but throughout the T20 challenge, towards in the final, when JP Duminy was sitting in the commentary box and talking about it, and JP actually spoke about how amazing Temba Bavuma's stats is, and that's a big compliment for a guy that is our best T20 player ever in internationals. So if you look at Temba Bavuma's stats with regards to T20 cricket, it's quite exceptional. Before we get going, before we bring on everybody, before we give you the quotes from Temba and Dean themselves, I want you guys to please smash that subscribe button. Click the subscribe button, click that notification bell for all future videos. So I also want you guys to know that you must get involved in the super chat if you really have to. If you want to get any questions answered in the comment section, we're going to turn on the live super chat right now for you guys to do so. I'm going to have some guests on the show as well. When they do come on board, it will be excellent to see what they say. But let me just get into some of the comments that was made by, obviously, first and foremost, the director of cricket. So Graham Smith said that we are grateful to Quinton for the work he has put in as captain of the team in the limited overs formats, and indebted to him for stepping up while the national selection panel continued its search for the test captain. We expect him to still play an integral role in the team's leadership group. We as CSA are pleased with the appointments of Temba and Dean and believe that we have the men who will lead the Proteas back to their winning ways of old. The pair bring the required stability in both leadership and form to turn the ship in the direction that will eventually bring trophies back to the cabinets. So we've spoken about, I mean, basically he's very confident with his decision, as you can see in his quotes. Graham seems to be very happy with his selections, and he hopes that this can bring trophies. So that's a very bold statement from Graham Smith, because he's not just saying that he selected these captains to be as captain until we find the next captain, or like he did with Quinton de Kock. It's all about taking the Proteas forward and bringing success to South African cricket once again. So what they're doing over here is very similar. I feel some people might probably look at the way they did things with Siya Kolisi before the World Cup. They selected Siya Kolisi, but I don't want to look at parallels between the two because it's two different sports. In South African cricket, we produce a lot less Black African players, which is actually a shame than in rugby. Rugby, we see a lot more Black African players coming through the system, whereas in cricket, we don't see it as often. So this is a massive statement because of the background that Temba comes from. It's a beacon of hope, I feel, for South Africa, because especially in the white ball format, he is one of the first names on the team sheet. And I don't think anybody can deny that at the moment, that that's the case. Before I bring some of the guests on, I'm going to still read some of the other quotes I'm going to put up on the screen. We've got Dean's comments over here. Obviously, he's going to say that it's an honor to be the captain of his country in any form of the game is the biggest honor that a player can be fortunate to receive. To captain my country's test team, which I believe to be the pinnacle of the game, is the biggest highlight of my career, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent my country in such an important way. Temba and I know more than most the challenge that we have ahead of us in returning the test squad back to the winning ways. But I know that we are both more than ready for the task at hand. I'm looking forward to bringing stability back into the team and laying a solid foundation for us to be able to accomplish the ambitions we will have to see the Proteas go back to the world's #1 spot in all formats. Then we've got Temba as well that spoke and gave a few comments as well. Captain the Proteas has been a dream of mine for many years, as those closest to me would know. This is one of the greatest honors of my life so far, and I'm looking forward to picking up where Quinny has left off in leading the team into the new culture that we have developed and continue to work on. The responsibility of captaining one's country is not one I take lightly, and I'm looking forward to this new challenge and journey with Dean in Test cricket format, as well as leading the team not just one, but 3 ICC World Cups in a very near future. Now, guys, I don't know if you remember, but we did a magazine on Temba talking about taking new responsibility. And I think it was a very critical issue. It was an issue that divided people. Go ahead and download that issue. All the back issues are available. You can go to Cricket Fanatics Mag. cricketfanaticsmag.com/monthly magazine, and that's where you'll get it. I'll put up the banner on the screen right now, so you can go ahead and look, where Temba spoke about wanting to take more responsibility. And that's where I saw he was putting up his hand for captaincy. And I thought that this would be the option. From the beginning, I thought that this would be the option, that he would take white ball cricket and that Dean would take red ball cricket. Because based on them making statements like that, I thought that would probably be the most logical options, seeing that they are the first names on the team sheets in either team. So obviously, other than Quinton de Kock, Temba Bavuma is one of the main opening partners of Quinton de Kock at the moment, and I think that they're obviously looking at him to be the opening partner of Quinton for the near future. Now, this is obviously going to bring up the fact that we probably now we have to see to Quinton and Temba open the batting, or Temba batting at 3. Now the conversations are going to get going because Temba has to be in the side now that he's the captain of the side. It's unfortunate that things happened to Quinny the way they did, and I think a lot of people will be saddened by this news, and that Quinton has been relieved of captaincy for the white ball arena, because some people really rated him as a white ball captain. But I think that maybe with the recent news about him and his mental health and him struggling, it's really sad to see things go that way. That Quinton had to experience what he did before giving up the captaincy, and it was so short-lived. So I want to know what you guys have to say in the comment section. Get your comments in, so that we can have a discussion about it. I'm going to be bringing up on one of my guests very soon to talk about it, but I'm just going to read some of the comments over here. We've got Elgar and Bavuma will have to raise their game with a bat. We've got to be a Markram should have been named skipper for all 3 formats. A bit of a shocker for me. What the heck? This is really confusing. Shaib saying nice decision. So we can see already the split opinions in the comment section already. That cements Bavuma spot at the top of the order with Quinny, or at number 3 for the next few World Cups. We think alike. You need to come on the show more often, bro. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe you guys can come on the show and call in if you already want to have a say about it, and talk about what you think about this particular decision. Let me just get that link for you guys right now so that you guys can join. When you feel that you can join. If you are brave enough to come speak over here and talk about it, then come ahead and pick the live chat, and there's a link right now for you guys in the live chat. Yeah, someone saying trying to pull a Khaleesi. I feel whenever we lose, the poor guy is going to get hammered by the public. I think that's what I'm most fearful of, is when we do poorly. How will the reactions be in the media and by the fans? Elgar has been solid, our most consistent batsman, deserves the captaincy. I hope this helps Temba take his game to the next level. We actually broke the story about Dean Elgar saying that he wanted to be Test captain initially. So we did an interview, exclusive interview with him back when the Titans played the Cobras, and we actually broke that story about Elgar, and that's when I thought that Elgar was actually going to be made captain. It was quite funny that he wasn't made Test captain initially. That I think that was one of my first choices for Test captaincy. Elgar's been solid, most consistent, deserves the captaincy. I think this is the best decision since we don't have one player who is equally good in all three formats. We have decent players at the moment, and I think that is true because we don't know where Aiden sits with regards to T20 cricket and in the ODI team. So it would have been tricky to make him captain of all formats if he hasn't cemented his place in the white ball arena. So I think that's why they made the decision that they have someone that can take both white ball formats and then someone that can take the test arena. I mean, we've done these type of things before, I feel. Werner, next few World Cups, the guy will be 34 at the next World Cup. I feel that this is very wrong to drop Quinny as white ball captain. I feel sorry for him. Dylan, I know that you're a big 20 fan. So I don't think this decision would have been made without the permission of Quinton. Not the permission, but without the approval of Quinton. I think Quinton would have said, look here, this is the right decision and you guys can go ahead of that. And he would have obviously said that maybe he doesn't want to be captain. I don't think this is a decision that was fully made just without consulting Quinton de Kock. So you guys must think about that as well. We've got Dex saying over here, so this means Temba is Quinton's permanent opening partner in white ball. Then what about guys like Yanaman, Riza, and Aiden? That's the questions that are going to come on the show right now. So we're going to obviously do many more shows in the future. Maybe we can talk about this on Sunday. Let me know on our Sunday podcast where we can get really into depth about this, because this obviously is going to mean that those spaces are cemented by the players that are selected as captains. I feel for Quinny, Temba in at 3. We've got Werner saying Goban Smith already said until 2023 World Cup, so clearly a definite decision has been made. Temba is not even permanent batsman in ODI, making him captain in white ball. Poorest decision by CSA. Well, I think that he is actually permanent in ODI and T20 at the moment. I think they are looking at him as being Quinton de Kock's Quinton de Kock's opening partner, but I feel that he can bat at 3 as well. It is an option as well. Although Riza's coming off an amazing season of T20 Challenge at the moment as well. I would love to join Khalid, but I'm still at work. Only get off at 4:30. I just decided to sneak into the video quickly. That's great. I love the passion from you, and I love the commitment from you, Werner. You're always coming. You're always coming on these type of shows and talking to us. I'm going to be bringing on my first guest right now. We're going to bring on Shay to come talk to us about this, because we had plenty of conversations in previous streams before. I think Shay was very vocal about who he thinks should be captain of the teams, etc. We'll see who else. I've sent out the link for people to come on the show and talk to us. So let's see who comes on the show and talks to us about it. I'm happy that Temba, but I really thought that Aiden would get the test captaincy. Does Aiden at least get leadership role? We'll have to see. Maybe vice captain. That would be a very good thing for him to be vice captain. I mean, literally, I think it's only going to be like, let's say, a year or so. It's only really one World Cup, I think, that Temba will probably take over, the 2023 World Cup and the T20 World Cup. I think that they'll change things up again then. Shay, if you're ready, let's give me a thumbs up and we can bring you on the stream. I would really love to hear your opinions on this. We've got Temba is vice captain though. Yeah, Temba will probably be vice captain of the test team for now, but I mean, we'll have to see what happens. I think that shifts will happen. Let's bring on Shay. How's Shay? Welcome to the show, bro. I want to hear your thoughts on, obviously, first and foremost, Dean as captain. I think that's the main one.
Yeah, Holland, how you doing? That's all, guys. Go on. My reception's pretty bad. Now, I did a video troll that broke 3 weeks
Bro,
ago.
I can't hear anything you're saying. Can you reconnect again? Can you reconnect again for me? I can't hear anything you're saying. Yeah. Cool. Sorry guys for the bad sound that happens sometimes. Who is the white ball vice captain? Yeah, so according to Graham Smith, let's have a look here quickly. So he said that Temba has been strong, trust and backing of the players and coach around him. We are excited to have him lead the process in the upcoming T20 World Cup as well as the 2023 World Cup in India. He will also be the test team's vice captain, working closely with Dean, ensuring continuity and stability in the squad. Dean has been test captain over the years, and we're pleased to have a leader who is ready. We confident. There's nothing over here about who's going to be taking over the vice captaincy. If anybody's read the article, we'll have to wait and see what they say in the press conference. There will be a press conference at, I think, at 5 o'clock. And then we'll obviously chat about all of that. And they'll probably ask those questions. I hope someone asks the questions actually in the press conference. Let's bring Shay back on. Welcome back, bro. Sorry about that.
Can you hear me, Khalid? Can you hear me?
I can hear you a little better now. It's breaking up slightly.
Yeah, I'm in the car.
Just have a go.
Sorry. Yeah, so I'll just say quickly. So, I did a video a little while ago called "The Straw That Broke Quinny's Back," which is basically my take on the whole farce around the captain. Yeah, to me, it will see, and the fact that obviously he was appointed captain for what has ultimately been a year now. Then he's a Test match captain, ended up being only 4 matches long. Obviously, after some time, he was then said, actually, after during the Pakistan series, it was announced that he wouldn't be captain anymore of the Test team. So, and then obviously now he's been completely removed from all formats. I think it's outside of the whole how it's been handled, which I think is pretty poor. I'm very happy with the appointments. I think Dean Elgar, as I mentioned before, on my video about Quinton de Kock, I was saying there how happy I was for Dean Elgar. I mean, I was saying Dean Elgar, it should have been made last year. As soon as Faf left, Dean Elgar should have been made captain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's a year later. It should be, the bottom line is it's been done. That's the main thing. They've made the right appointment now. As a Temba Bavuma, opinion, you're already seeing within half an hour of the release in the comment section alone, you're seeing how he polarized his opinion. And I think that's unfortunately going to be, he's going to have to basically it already within, what is this? And you're hearing good and bad points. This is going to be an ongoing thing, I think, for the previous video. Must be one of the most criticized players on social media I've seen for a variety of reasons, obviously. But the reality is he's an exceptional. He's become an exceptional white ball batsman. He's only played a handful of games. I get that in T20s and ODIs. I understand that. But as he's led was he the top 2 run scorers in the CSC T20 Challenge? He was phenomenal in that. He captained very, very well as well. I do feel for Quinny. I think Quinny could have maybe stayed on, but maybe behind the scenes there's mentally, and maybe just wanted shot of all responsibility in that respect. And then maybe from a personal perspective, he wants to kind of realise his potential with the bat, especially in Test match cricket, and maybe this is going to help him realise that. So I think Bavuma won in May. So his form in white ball arena in particular has improved immeasurably. And I think he will establish himself as a key player in the white ball sides. And I think that's the only way he's going to be able to get people on side to back him. Because I think until he consistently scores for South Africa, and I think obviously Paul will talk a lot more about this a lot better than I will. But I think from a perspective, society, etc. in South Africa, I think it's a monument in South African cricketing history, and that can't be taken away. It's so. I mean, I think about when a team came onto the challenge. I think this will go as a watershed moment in history, and we can't move away from that. I'm really happy from that perspective. I think if you're a South African fan, in the comment section, following this channel, following South African cricket in general, just get behind. Really, really good from the release. What I saw, that they backed him all the way to 2023 World Cup. That to me was a key line in that whole statement that's released. Because what I didn't want to see was, we'll see how I wanted to see, they've given him that. They've given that firm commitment. It's there. He's there backed until 2023. He is the captain. He's not going to go anywhere. He is the captain. So get behind him. I don't see why you wouldn't get behind this guy. Even if you're a little bit critical and you're not fully on, fair enough. But what's wrong with getting behind the guy? Back the guy. Just take the, I just get frustrated a little bit with this, I think there's too much people have preconceived agendas, and that's the shame of it. And not just in cricket, I was talking about this right now. I don't see why you would look at the negative side of this. You've seen, I'm sure everyone watching this show right now has watched a lot of the CSC T20 Challenge. Can you not tell me that Temba Bavuma, he's in the mix with all the top white bouquet, barring Temba and Faf, but everyone else is there. Sorry, barring Quinton and Faf, but everyone else is there, and he finished in the top 2 run scorers. He's as you mentioned before, Khalid. He's captain Lions, or playing the 3 T20 Lion sides. Captain potentials are there. I just think he's unfortunately got a stigma attached to him because of his early days. But those years have passed. He deserves his place in the white ball sides. So I do feel for Quinny a little bit, but I think maybe behind the scenes there's something going on there we don't know about. Personally, I said before, but I'm really happy with the appointment. I think, and particularly from a cricketing perspective, and I just want that to be acknowledged here, really, Khalid. And I would just encourage everyone to get on board with it and back them. Surely it's better that everyone rouses behind him rather than just continues to kind of be so critical. And maybe look at potentially your own agendas. I hate to say it, but I just think there's preconceived agendas against Temba Bavuma, and you actually strip it back, even from a numbers perspective. You can't argue with those numbers over the past year. In white
ball cricket.
Yeah. He's all proven it on. I'm happy with the points. And Dean Elgar, so I'm sure he's still there, Khalid. Hopefully he can still hear me. But Dean Elgar, I think is also a year late, in my opinion.
I think you're getting kicked. Sorry, man. I can't hear what you're saying. Ravi, welcome to the show. I know you got only a limited amount of time. I'm going to let you go first. I'm going to bring on Paul on the screen as well, and I'm going to bring on Cricket Connoisseur as well.
Look at that smile.
One time, let's... But we're going to start with Ravi. Let's just give Ravi some airtime, guys, because, he's not going to be able to be here for too long. Go ahead, Ravi. I just want to hear your thoughts.
I'm the best looking out of all 4, let's be honest with ourselves.
I disagree.
Of course you do. Okay, so great news. Fantastic decision from CSA. Clearly a lot of foresight was applied in making this decision as well. I'll start off with Dean. Dean, for a long time, I've been saying he's the rightful successor to Faf. Since last year already, I'm absolutely satisfied with the decision. I think Dean's got a good 2 or 3 seasons left in him, and he's already done the job before, be it in a limited capacity. I think he'll flourish in that role, and he'll do exceptionally well. It makes sense to go in, better yet, to go in with an opener as captain, right? So Dean is out of the way now.
What is it? Is it an Indian thing today or something? What's going on? Come on now, Rams. Until you come back on, bro, I'm gonna move on with it. You're just breaking up a little bit. Maybe you can just reconnect once again. There's some problems from your side. Let's go to Mr. Mpo over here. Mpo,
We
we've been
have
waiting for
our
you.
first Black African captain. Come on. That's what I wanted. This is where we are going. Temba's just, oh my word, guys, you don't understand. You really don't understand. I called it. I've been backing him. You guys wanted Aiden. You guys wanted so-and-so. Temba's the guy to lead you. He's proven it tournament after tournament after tournament in domestic cricket. He's the guy to lead you forward. And on top of that, if you guys are worried about, you want to bring in quota transformation because he's not that good, the man averages 55 in ODIs. The man averages 33 in T20s. His T20 strike rate is 133 if we're no longer looking at averages. So what better guy to lead this country forward than Temba? He's got a thick skin. He's got a big heart. He doesn't fit the mold of traditionally what a South African captain is. And that's why we've got a little corner there shouting up and down because they want a white male. They want a white male, clean cut, blonde hair, whatever he may be, to stand and lead the Proteas. No, this is South Africa. This is the captain we deserve. And finally, I am thankful that they're backing him all the way to 2023 because that is what we need. We need to give him the backing. Now everyone can shut up about his place in the side. You can call him Tim Ben, you can call him whatever it is, but we're moving forward and he will be there. If you don't like watching South African cricket, it's fine. Don't watch it. Don't support it. But I, for one, and many millions of South Africans will be supporting the Proteas, supporting Temba Bavuma, and he could be the guy to give us an ICC trophy. And for me, that's what it is. There's a level of leadership that people show on and off the field, and everyone was seeing the verbose Aiden in Pakistan and pushing him forward and everything else. But Temba was doing his job too. And that's the thing. Temba's more of the guy, and it was written in the press release, in the huddles, in the change rooms. That's the type of guy you want. And I'm glad that they've made a decision. We're moving forward. And now let's take South African cricket forward. The same way they picked Siya Kolisi. When Siya Kolisi was picked, they said he wasn't the best. He wasn't the best flank in the country, and he didn't deserve a spot. He fought for it. He showed that he was undroppable, and we won a World Cup out of it. I don't want to say we're going to become the Springboks. We've got a long way to go, but what I'm happy about is that finally Temba gets recognized for the leader that he is, for the fighter that he is. Those little 30s in the subcontinent, those 30s when South Africa were falling apart in the test match series throughout the past, 4 years, those were very important because it showed the character of the man, and the character of the man as a fighter. He's not going to cheat South Africa. That I can guarantee you. And for me, I'm so happy. I'm really happy. I'm also happy he's the vice captain of the test team. I love the Dean Elgar pick. I think Dean Elgar deserves it so much because he's the guy who has been our man for all seasons. Whenever we're doing great, Dean is there being the backbone. Whenever we're doing badly, Dean's the backbone. That's what you want in a test captain. I'm really happy that those two will be helping each other. So now you have that leadership group in limited overs and also in the test team. So I'm really happy. I'm excited. If you guys don't like it, don't watch South African cricket. It's a simple thing. You can check out. It's fine. I'm good. I'm not here to try and win you over for Temba. If you don't like Temba, you'll never all like him. It's fine. But all I'm saying is there are millions and millions of people, millions and millions of kids in the townships in South Africa, when they hear this news, when they see Temba at the World Cup later this year on SABC, when they see Temba leading the team in next year at the World Cup on our national broadcaster, when they see Temba leading the team at the ICC Cricket World Cup in 2023, they will believe that it is possible for a black child coming out of a township to be a Protea captain. And that's all that matters. Nothing else matters outside of that. And that is what they needed to do to protect the man and make him a leader. For me, that's all it is. Well done, CSA. Well done, Graham Smith. I've given you the hardest of times with Mark Boucher. I've given you guys the hardest of times, but finally you made the right call, and I will back you to the hills, and I will back Temba to the hills. If anybody wants to fight, Temba Bavuma, I'll be the one standing in front of him. The first man, you'll find me there. Come, let's fight. Because that man is a man I will go to war for anytime. That's it.
Now that's an amazing statement, and I love the passion in Paul, because I think that we're not realizing how much having a country or majority of a country behind someone pushing him. It can elevate your performances. It can elevate you as a team. It can elevate you in so many other ways. So I think that having Temba as a captain in the white ball cricket, I think that this is not just a decision that is made just willy-nilly. He's proven to be a great captain in domestic cricket. You can't. I spoke yesterday to Ryan Rickleton and I asked him about Temba's captaincy. He spoke about it. We heard what the guys were talking about when they speak about Temba. Anybody, even the Lions side, they speak about Temba and what they say about him. He might be soft-spoken when you see him on interviews, etc. But he speaks up when he needs to speak up. He's involved in the team huddle. He gets people riled up when he needs to do that as a whole. It's a fantastic move by CSA to get majority of the country behind him. The same I feel about Dean Elgar right now, because I think that Dean Elgar in Test cricket, he's a symbol of that fight that South Africa need to have within him. And that's something that he's going to pass on to the rest of the guys. Now, I want to get an outsider's view. I mean, obviously, Aaron, I mean, you're a Proteas fan, yes, as well. But I mean, obviously, as an England fan as well, seeing this particular move happen, what do you feel about this particular decision?
Can I just say before I do start, how on earth am I meant to follow that up from Empo? That was absolutely extraordinary. It really was. Like, I was completely engrossed by that. And yeah, what a speech, Empo. As I said, I'm going to find that incredibly difficult to follow on from. But from a purely cricketing perspective, I'll do it from an outsider's perspective. I'll start with Dean, because I do like Dean Elgar. I've made that very, very clear here on the show. He is such a gifted batsman and one of the world's best openers. And you mentioned there about him personifying the fight, the spirit, the courage of South African cricket. I think that he will do that job to an absolute T. Like, the fact is, you've seen him around those team huddles. He's a real natural-born leader from the front. So for me, Dean Elgar, fantastic appointment. Really, really glad for him. And of course, for Aidan Markham as well, I kind of wish he would have got just a little bit more of a leadership role within that team. I feel like he is a future South African Test captain. But with that being said, I think someone said it in the comments. This now allows him more time. Allows him time to really establish himself in that Proteas team, really become an absolute tour de force at the top of the batting order alongside Dean Elgar, who is his captain, so he can learn things from him. So from a cricketing perspective, brilliant from CSA. Absolutely brilliant. And for all of the criticism, for all of the comments, they've done a really, really good thing there. And then, of course, with Temba, obviously, it is a watershed moment. I couldn't have put it any better than Shay. Shay put it really, really well. And, of course, it is for the country of South Africa. But for me, the real key thing from that press release was the 2023 World Cup. So for those who don't know so far, I think Temba's played 14 white ball games in total, 6 ODIs since 2016, 8 T20Is. He's got an excellent record, averaging 55 and well over 30 in T20s. But the key there with that statement, we're going to back him until 2023. It shows that they're willing to keep time with him. It shows that they're willing to really invest in Temba Bavuma's captaincy here. And of course, he has showed that in domestic cricket for the Lions. So if they would have come out here and it almost would have been, oh, it's a transition captaincy, it was a bit like the Quinton one, for example, I wouldn't be sat here so positive about it. But it's the fact that they are willing to give Temba time, and that is absolutely imperative for a captain. The amount of confidence that will give him, and the fact that he's got the privilege and the honour to represent your country as the captain of South Africa. Oh, this will just make Temba even better, in my opinion, because you look at him as a player. He shows so much courage, so much valour, so much bravery towards the latter stage of an innings in Test cricket. And of course, he's a very free-flowing, free-scoring batsman in white ball cricket as well. I think it's very, very good. I really do. And from a cricketing perspective, I have to say it, CSA, very, very good. Well done. Very, very good. I think they've got it spot on there. And of course, with the future as well, you've got guys waiting in the wings who can take over from these guys once their captaincy stints come to an end. So yeah, overall, Khalid and Poe and Ravi, and of course, Shay. I think Shay's still in the comments. Absolutely fantastic. Very, very happy from it from an outsider's perspective. Only thing that I will say, hopefully they don't turn into the Springboks and beat England in the final. But yeah, of course, I wish South Africa the best of luck in all 3 formats heading into the future. I think it's going to be very, very nice time.
We're coming for you. We're coming for that world champion title. We're coming.
Okay.
Now we're believing. Now we're believing.
We're coming to you.
Very good.
Yeah,
We'll come-
yeah. I think that it's excellent for the next generation of South African cricketers, the younger guys. We're doing a whole magazine on youth cricket and what we can do in youth cricket to improve it. How we can get more guys through the town, kids through the townships to be able to play this magnificent sport, because the sport teaches you so much. Like Graham October always tells me, cricket teaches you the lessons that life teaches you. You know, every cricket match that you play, it takes you through those turmoils, it takes you through those difficult times that life will take you on. Those. That's why it's such an amazing sport, that it will teach kids. And what nice thing about it is cricket is a long game, eh? So you're gonna take boys off the street and they're gonna be there out there 8 hours. So there's no nonsense to be caught out over here anymore. So Ravi, I know it cut you off. I want you to talk about, you spoke about Dean. Let me know about Temba.
I'm overjoyed, to say the very least. I'm absolutely overjoyed. I was there at Newlands when he scored his first Test century, and I saw him, well, on television at least, score his debut, one international 100 against Ireland. And since those moments have taken place, I've always felt he was an exceptional player and destined for something great. And this, for me, I think symbolizes that level of greatness. That title means much more than just something on a piece of paper. I mean, I share Mpo's sentiments. I know Langa Cricket Club, some of the guys that play there very well, and they must be over the moon right now. That's a club that Temba Bavuma played quite extensively as a youth. So they must be quite jubilant, as I'm sure many South Africans are, irrespective of color. There are polarizing differences. There are people out there in the country right now that may feel otherwise. And my stance on that has always been very simple. It will come down to the results eventually. And I'm pretty confident that under Temba's leadership and his ability and his grit, they will exceed expectations. They'll do very well with this team. I just have a feeling that you might see some very enterprising changes. You might see some faces or names we've never even considered in the first place under Temba's leadership. And I'm looking forward to it. I share Aaron's sentiment. Sorry, cricket connoisseur. We can't use real names here. I'm sorry. Anyway, I share your sentiments as well. I think that it's clear that CSA has said Temba's our guy, Dean is our guys. We're going to invest in them up until a certain point, and it's up to them to take it up a notch, to live up to expectations, as it were. And that 2023 number, that year, says a lot about Cricket South Africa's stance on this. And for me, out of all the decisions that they've made in the last year, and 2020 was obviously a very tumultuous year in many respects for CSA, this has to go down as one of their best decisions. And obviously we'll have to wait until the actual games happen and the results start coming in. But I think it's very, very brave. It's bold. But I'm glad they clearly had a vision and they stuck with it. The other thing I think that we didn't necessarily talk about today is the fact that while these two individuals have got fantastic leadership roles, we also gained a third player, and that is Quinton de Kock, a much more stable, calm, the Quinton de Kock of old. That's a guy we've been missing for a long time, and I think the captaincy obviously threw a spanner into the works in many respects. So I think we're going to get a very stable, level-headed wicket-keeper part of it. We're going to get a solid opening batsman in the limited overs variety, and chances are you might go back and bat at number 6 or 7 once again. I certainly hope he's not going to go higher than that point again, but that's perhaps a debate for another day. I think that at least we're going to get a much more calm, happier Quinton de Kock. A happier Quinton de Kock is a more productive Quinton de Kock. So I have a feeling that we're going to see some fantastic results coming in from him going forward. So congratulations, Temba. Congratulations, Dean. Well deserved. I'm so stoked for you guys. You have no idea.
Excellent, excellent. So I want to propose a new question now, and Paul, you can go first. This is going to be the tough question to answer now. Yes, Temba's captain of the limited over side right now, and particularly in T20 cricket. will be opening the batting, right? So when he gets past the 2023 or towards the 2023 World Cup, and we're building towards the 2023 World Cup in ODI cricket, where do you see Temba batting? Because if we're having guys like Yanaman Malan coming through the system as openers that are dominating and doing really well, does Temba move to 3? When you have someone like Riza Hendricks that's knocking on the door constantly, does he come into the team? Does he bat at 3? So how are we going to shuffle things around between youngsters now and the future?
So you look at what the Lions have done, having Rickleton and Riza at the top, Temba 3. 3 and 4 has always been Temba's batting position for the Lions across all formats. That's where he's comfortable at. And I'd like also in the test team for him to get a longer run. 5 test matches is not enough. And so in the limited overs setup, he will bat to 3. Yes, we know that he's played when he scored the 100. He opened the batting. I was against Ireland in a couple of years ago. But 3 is his position. Obviously, you got Rassie at 4. You'll have you'll probably have either one of David Miller or somebody else coming in at 5. I think maybe even a Reinhard van Tonder. So the question obviously is you can shuffle the pack around. But the great thing about that Lions pairing at 3 and 4 of Rassie and Temba, you've got really good solidity in that top middle order, and they can shift down 1. So Temba can bat at 4, Rassie can bat at 5. Really strong top 5 in ODIs, and then you can have probably Reinhard van Tonder come in at 3. You can have Yanaman at the top to open, if not him opening with Reinhard or Riza Hendricks filling in that gap. So I really do think that Temba isn't an opener in ODIs, but he can fill that role. But I do think number 3 is his spot, and I think that's where South Africa will get a lot of production out of him. And 4 also works for him. The Lions don't like to do that because you've got a guy like Rassie van der Dussen there, who's just an incredible batsman as well. And imagine, think about that top 4: Quinton opening, Yanaman at 2, Temba at 3, Rassie at 4. It creates a lot of certainty and solidity. And also in the T20 game, Temba can drop to number 3, as we saw in the T20 challenge. So there is a spot for Rassie, not necessarily Rassie, a Yanaman, or even a Riza, or even a Reinhard van Tonder. To bat at 2 opening in the next World Cup. Obviously, 2021, we've got a lot of AB-like issues to deal with. We don't know. No, Victor said that he's not sure. And obviously, Faf is still available. But obviously, post-Faf, Temba can fill that role at number 3. You can have 2 explosive batsmen. That's what the Josie Stars did in that first season of the MSL, even though Temba wasn't there. The second season, they batted Temba at 3, even though they had Chris Gayle and Ryan Rickleton at the top, or Riza Hendricks and Chris Gayle at the top. When Gayle left, it was Riza and Ryan, and then Temba batted at 3. So you can play around with that, but I think most importantly, for me, it's about the right culture that you set. And having been an avid Lions supporter and an avid Lions watcher, I even watched the Josie Stars practice in that little practice game they had before the season started. The MSL season started last year, and I love the culture. Guys are free to be themselves. I'm a big keen believer. Like, it's something that the Lions do. I think other teams do as well. But when a lot of the Lions players of color speak their own language to each other, whereas previously in those dressing rooms that wouldn't have been allowed. And loved when people were commenting last week about how when Pangiso and Rabada were batting, Pangiso and Rabada were speaking in Sesotho, Zulu, or isiZulu whenever they were interchanging. Pangiso said pusha to Kagiso when they were running a 2, and when they turned and they looked and they realized, Pangiso realized that it was safe to come back. He said boa, which is come back in Sesotho. So that's the type of thing that I like. I want people to be able to, in a cricket team, to be themselves. We've heard the Mackay and Tini stories and all those guys and how they felt outside. And I think having a guy like Temba allows that. And that Lions team is a testament to that, because guys have their own personalities and guys are different in their ways, and guys express themselves. And they've done well and they've been quite successful. So for me, yeah, but to answer your question, 3 or 4 in the limited overside, we should be fine. But I do like for him to bat at 3 as that stopgap in case something falls apart.
Yeah, And that's where I would want to put him now, because it makes my life easier to be able to pick a team. Because for the 2023 World Cup, I was going very youth-like with it. I wanted to build a young side going up to that 2023 World Cup. Having Temba as an experienced guy at number 3 now changes my mindset.
And the other thing
because
is
now,
Aiden at 4 as well. So you can have Aiden
that's
at 4 and
that's
Rassie at
potentially
5.
also. That's also potentially an opportunity, yes, as well. I just want to say thank you for the super chat. Tato, finally, CSA made a huge goal. Let's support. Happy. Thanks a lot for the super chat, bro. I want to ask you, cricket connoisseur, where would you slot in Temba in limited overs now that he's captain?
You can call me Aaron, by the way, boys. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, obviously, TCC. Nothing wrong with the cricket connoisseur
That's your
either.
real name. If that's your real name, James.
Fine. Very funny.
Hey, Ron.
Oh, we're not starting that, Harley. Otherwise, I will bring out the DJ Khaled memes. But with regards to that question, I mean, pretty much as Impo said, in ODIs, number 3, I think that will suit South Africa very nicely. It allows you to kind of pick and select batsmen around him. And that top 4, as you said, top 5, including Rassie. I mean, it's a pretty good-looking team. I must admit, on paper, it's looking quite nice. Obviously, cricket isn't played on paper. It's played on the pitch. But theoretically speaking, it's a very, very strong top 5 that the Proteas have. And then, as Bad Panda has put in the chat, I would open with him in T20s. I think he's done perfectly well in T20s, averaging over 30. I love that right-hand, left-hand combination between him and Quinton de Kock. So that's all I have to say about that. And yeah, as I said, exciting times for the Proteas. And as Shay rightfully said, just back the boys. Simple as that, back the team. It's an exciting time now to be a Proteas fan. Yes, fair enough, results may not go always your way. But yeah, it's important to back this team, stick with them right to the bitter end, and yeah, hopefully the Proteas can change their fortunes around.
I don't think people understand what this will do for the next generations of South African cricketers. For a boy that is sitting in the township dreaming of playing cricket, what this will do for him as a person, as a player, as a motivation for his life, what it will do. It can really change someone's life just seeing that in action. For them to believe, playing with that belief of saying, look here, this is attainable. That's just knowing that's a small shift, but it's a massive mental shift for your own game and for your own aspirations that you want to do in your life. Because you can go through, some people can go through life just coasting, but knowing that little bit of change is available, just knowing that the opportunity is now there for a Black African boy to be a captain of his national side or be a captain of a national team in this country, it's a massive, massive change for the future of the sport in South Africa. Ravi, I just want to know from your point of view, just to sign off, your final thoughts.
Exciting day, very momentous occasion, but at some point we need to get down to business. So I implore Cricket South Africa for making these wonderful decisions, and let's hope that the selection will also reflect that of the selection of the new captain as well. So I'm looking forward to the selection of a brave, brand new squad that's definitely going to exceed expectations. So I'm looking forward to the next couple months at the very least.
Awesome. Guys, thanks a lot for coming on the show. And Paul, thanks a lot for your speech. It was excellent. I really enjoyed every single point that you said over there, and you were spitting facts. Thanks a lot, Aaron. Thanks a lot, Ravi, for making time so short.
I'm going to do that.
On social.
Go back to 2016.
Apparently, the whole of the West Indies cricket team, we all like to do this now. As a Trinidadian, I'm going to do the same thing. Look at me. I'm doing it then.
How old are you, Ravi?
Yeah, man.
A bit too old for this.
A bit too old for the time. Please, guys, give us a smash if you want to see Ravi open up a TikTok account. Give us a like on this button. Smash this like button if you want to see Ravi open up a TikTok account. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Subscribe to the magazine. It's free. Link is on the screen and in the description. All back issues are free too. cricketfanaticsmag.com if you want to get all your updates. We will be updating you all over there. If you want to go read the statement on what Graham Smith had to say and what Temba had to say, what Dean had to say, it's all on the website. So go ahead over there to go check that out. If you guys have a business and you're looking to make sales online, even if your business is offline, we can help you promote your business. So just get in touch with Cricket Fanatics Magazine, get in touch with Ravi, get in touch with myself, get in touch with any of us, and let us know if you want to be interested. You can email us at cricketfanaticsmag@gmail.com as well if you want to get in touch with us. We can really help you guys take your sales in the next new direction. We can take you guys and promote your businesses in any way through the content that we produce and help you with your own type of content too. Also, support us by becoming a patron. Link is on the screen as well, and in the description it will be as well. If you want to join the Patreon community, you will get exclusive content from us directly to you, only for our patrons. We will do content just for you. And you'll also be able to join our Discord. We'll have access to all of us as well. So please go ahead and do that too. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. And we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Don't forget to check our Offside Maidens, which is at 7 o'clock. So please tune in there. The girls will be talking about probably this too, as well as they'll be previewing the Momentum Women's Tour to India, which starts on Sunday as well. So go ahead and watch that game. They're going to be talking about that, and they're going to obviously be talking about captaincy as well, because there was a divide about that on the panel too. So that's really exciting. Obviously, there won't be an 8 o'clock daily show tonight because I've done my daily show now. So tune in tomorrow for my daily show. We'll do a live Q&A with the fans. You guys get to ask me as many questions as you want. Maybe we'll bring some of the guests on if they want to tune in and ask them questions too. Like the last time we had Mr. Aaron on the show as well, who gave some excellent answers too. So if I'll ask the guests if they want to come on too. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys again. Take care, everyone.